Polyamory has been getting some attention on this app for negative reasons. I don't want to add to that negativity. I was polyamorous for a little over a year, and I want to talk about things that my polyamorous ex did that weren't very polyamorous of her. But I want to give the disclaimer that not all polyamorous people are bad. You are going to find just as many people in the monogamous community that don't treat their partners well and do shady shit that you see in the polyamorous community. There are plenty of polyamorous people here that you can find that practice ethically and are happy in their relationships. So disclaimer ahead of time. Number 1, scream cry on my bedroom floor that she would divorce her wife for me. That happened. Never once did I ask her to do that, imply that that's what I wanted, and this happened after we were together for a year, and she was worried that I was moving on because I started dating someone else. But yeah, that happened, and I found out in hindsight from someone else that she dated that she used them to be the catalyst for divorcing her first wife, so I kind of feel like she was trying to do the same to me to divorce her second wife, and I said no thank you. Number 2, sending me an email about what she was sacrificing for me and included screenshots about how much her wife hated me. So context for this, I was dealing with an emergency and she came over to watch my son for me because my ex-husband was unable to. So she was like the next person that I could think of who was available to come watch him. So she told me that she would like settle things at home and then be over to watch him. She watched him overnight for me, got him on the bus in the morning, and then I came home while he was at school. That next day, I got an email letting me know how much she was sacrificing for me, and she included screenshots between her and her wife that I'm still not sure if her wife even knew she sent to me, because they were from her wife being like, I can't believe you left your family to do this. Like, it's not your responsibility to help her. We don't even know this situation. Like, how dare you? This was, again, after I had been around for like a year. We had talked about all of us moving in together, her making some sort of commitment to me, because obviously she couldn't marry me because she was already married. So like, I really did not need to see all of that, and it was a huge invasion of her wife's privacy. 3, pressured me to attend her surprise wedding and then threw it in my face that I was uncomfortable. So, context for this one, we went to Pride together. Her wife, me, and their 2 children, and I walked around Pride with their daughter because there was beef between their daughter and her wife, and then my ex-girlfriend walked around with her son, and then at one point, my ex-girlfriend switched with her wife and her wife took their son, but then her wife got mad about something, brought the son back, and she left. So then when it was time for us to leave, we didn't know where she was. My ex-girlfriend was texting her and was like, I don't think she's coming back. So this was when we were dating for like 4 months. I'm trying to like assess the situation, help. I was like, if you need me to drive you guys somewhere, I can. Can you call your parents? She was like, she's not letting me call my parents. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Anyway, long story short, eventually she did come back and get them. 2 days later, she announces to me that the party that they had planned the next month was actually a surprise wedding ceremony for all of their friends. So when I didn't react well or what she expected to that, because of what had just happened at Pride, she got upset with me. And I was like, well, that situation is not resolved. I don't know what happened. And clearly, like, there are things that y'all are dealing with that we're not talking about. And she was like, why aren't you happy for me? You should be thrilled that we're having a wedding ceremony. So I felt pressured by what she was saying to go, because if I didn't go, she felt like I wasn't supporting them. But if I went, I was going to feel uncomfortable. So I ended up going anyway, but like, there was weirdness about some pictures that were taken, and I don't know. I was just trying to like talk to people and occupy myself so I didn't feel as awkward. But when I talked to her about it afterwards, she made it into a, sorry that my wedding was so hard for you and such an inconvenience. And I'm like, at 4 months dating, I shouldn't have been put in that position to begin with. 4, when her wife was having a mental health crisis, I was the one trying to figure out who we needed to call, and if she needed to be involuntarily admitted somewhere, she just wanted to wait it out and see what happened? I'm not going to go into detail about this one because it's not really my story to tell, but the only thing I will say is that I was trying to see what help we could get her, and later it came out to me that my ex-girlfriend just wanted to see what happened. Wasn't super concerned. I was very concerned from what I was hearing, and hopefully now things have been taken care of in that area. I don't know. Last one on this list, there are definitely more. When I wanted to start dating someone else, she reactivated her dating profile to see mine and left it active without discussing it with me. Yeah, so for this one, we had talked about how after I divorced my husband, it had been a little bit, and I was like, hey, I think I'm ready to start like dating again. And when I made a profile, like a new dating profile for myself, she was like, oh, I want to see it. So I was going to hand her my phone so she could look at it. And she said, oh, no, wait, I'll just look at it on mine. So I watched her reactivate one of her dating profiles, look at my profile, and leave hers active. And then while she was active on it, she looked at someone's profile and mentioned to me, oh, I wouldn't mind dating this person. While we were taking a break, when our relationship was headed towards the end, when things were not going well, she went on a date with that person and told me that she had been flirting with them for months. I just feel like someone who had been preaching to me for how they had 20 years of polyamory experience and how they're so open and honest with their partners, but there was no discussion about how that dating profile was left active and how she started communicating with that person, and all of a sudden when things were going downhill with us, she had a date with them. There were things that I was not being told. There were things that were unethical that were happening, and there are reasons why this person has only had a few long-term relationships in their course of polyamory experience. I have been reached out to by a lot of people who are in social media groups that she is still active in and have told me that she has burned bridges with a lot of people. And that doesn't surprise me because she is actively out there continuing this same pattern of behavior. And I hate it. I hate that she is out there doing this to other people. So that is why I am making this video. If you are in central Pennsylvania and part of polyamory groups, just be aware.